Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spring Convocation 2006. Would you please join our vocalist, Clint Hagel, in the singing of O Canada, and then would you please remain standing for the invocation.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Let us pray. God of all creation, thank you for the gift of life and the freedom only you can give. Today we beam with festive joy as we gather here to celebrate the academic achievements of graduates of the College of Agriculture, the College of Commerce, and the College of Engineering at the University of Saskatchewan. We give you thanks for so many things. For our past, the experiences that have shaped us, made us who we are today, and all those people in our lives who encouraged us, had faith in us, and helped us along our journey through life and the road of education. Those who are here today supporting us, and those who couldn't be here but are close to our hearts. For our fellow graduates with whom we have worked, conversed, studied, and celebrated. For professors, academic advisors, and university staff, exemplified today by Master Teacher Fred Phillips, who have shared their wisdom, counsel, and commitment to learning. And for the promise of the future, that we may find courage and strength to discern our path well. May our decisions, though often uncertain or fuzzy, always foster that which is good and in the best interest of the world in which we live. For all this we give thanks, and we ask for help in our human condition to realize the potential for greatness we all have, each of us in our unique way. Creator, be with us today and always. Amen.
Would you please be seated? Welcome to all of you distinguished guests and graduates. My name is Lee Pennock. I'm the University Secretary, and I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the colorful platform party that you see before you. And so I would like to introduce the party beginning at my far left, your right, and starting with Ernie Barber, Dean of the College of Agriculture, Bob Tyler, Associate Dean, College of Agriculture, Alison Rennie, Assistant Dean, College of Commerce, Tom Wishart, Dean of Graduate Studies and Research and Associate Vice President, Research, Lynn Pearson, Dean of the College of Commerce, Claude Lague, Dean of the College of Engineering, Michael Atkinson, Provost and Vice President, Academic, Peter McKinnon, President, Tom Malloy, Chancellor, the Honourable Pat Atkinson, Minister of Advanced Education and Employment. Lotfi Zadeh, recipient of the Honorary Doctor of Science degree this afternoon. Heather Magatu, Vice President, University Advancement. Walter Linklater, Elder. Father Andre Lalach, University Chaplain. Joy Crawford, University Alumni Association President. Kelly McInnes, Registrar and Director of Academic Services and Financial Assistance. In the second row, Malcolm Reeves, Assistant Dean, College of Engineering. Bob Gander, Assistant Dean, College of Engineering. Fred Phillips, recipient of the Master Teacher Award. David Hanna, Associate Vice President, Student and Enrollment Services. Robert Harasimchuk, President of St. Peter's College. Lily Krause, Member of Senate. Murray Purcell, Member of Senate. Margaret Kuzik, Member of Senate. Judy Bazowetsky, Member of the Board of Governors. Gary Carlson, Member of the Board of Governors. Evan Cole, President of the University of Saskatchewan Students' Union. Bernie Trischuk, Member of Senate. Laurel Krause, Member of Senate. And I'd also like to introduce to you the members of the faculty of the university from the Colleges of Agriculture, Commerce, and Engineering who are also here with us today. Thank you.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you Dr. Lotfi Zadeh, a professor in the Graduate School, Computer Science Division, Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science at the University of California, Berkeley. Dr. Zadeh also serves as the director of the Berkeley Initiative in Soft Computing. Dr. Zadeh is widely known as the father of the theory of fuzzy logic. The theory of fuzzy logic acknowledges that while we would like to believe that decisions can be made with complete confidence in their correctness, this is rarely the case, and there is necessarily some associated uncertainty or a fuzziness in the adopted decision. Dr. Zadeh pioneered the mathematical description of these uncertainties with the introduction of fuzzy set theory in the early 1960s, and his insistence that the frequently abstract mathematical world has application in the solution of real-world problems has led to its application in a variety of areas such as fuzzy neural systems, control systems, vision systems, artificial intelligence, expert systems, medical diagnosis, economic systems, judicial systems, and decision analysis. Dr. Zadeh has a distinguished international reputation, and his scholarship has had a profound effect on the work of researchers and practitioners worldwide. His research and prolific publication record has led to many medals and scientific prizes, including a Medal of Honor from the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. He has lectured around the world, and he is a member of the editorial boards of 55 scientific journals. In the less than 40 years since his theory was propounded, thousands of papers and scores of textbooks have been written on this seminal topic, and at least 20 international journals are established in this field. He has over 200 primary publications with thousands of citations of his research papers. His outstanding contribution as an engineer, a scientist, an educator, and a member of the profession have earned him worldwide recognition. Dr. Zadeh has visited the University of Saskatchewan and its Intelligence System Research Laboratory on many different occasions, and he has inspired our university community through his thought-provoking lectures and discussions on fuzzy logic and soft computing methods. Through those presentations and numerous one-on-one discussions, he has been an inspiration and also a role model for many professors and students in our university. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Lotfi Zadeh and ask that you will confer on him the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority invested in me by the legislature of the province, with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, and invest you with all of the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Chancellor Malloy, Dean Letou, President Atkinson, excuse me, President McKinnon, Minister Atkinson, I want to express to you my deep appreciation for the award to me of the degree of Doctor Honoris Causa. And I did not prepare a carefully crafted speech. I have many bad habits, and one of them is that of speaking extemporaneously. So please accept my apology in advance for doing so. Let me say to begin with that I came to Canada as one who has deep admiration and affection for Canada and Canadian people. And this is one of the reasons why this particular honorary doctorate has a special significance for me. In addition, here at the university, I have an old friend, Professor Madame Gupta, whom I met in 1968, at a time when fuzzy logic was in its infancy, and there were just a few supporters and many, many people who had nothing but skepticism and derision to express. And he has been strong supported ever since, and he has played a major role over the years in the advancement of fuzzy logic and its applications. And he showed me the nomination which he prepared. It's about as thick as a book. So I really cannot thank him enough for doing that and spending so much of his time and energy preparing the nomination. Now, this afternoon, I should like to share with you some of my feelings regarding the information technology that is all around us. Actually, we are in the midst of many people call the information revolution. But there is another revolution that is not quite as visible as the information revolution is, and that is the intelligent systems revolution. And the reason why it's not quite as visible is that in case of the information revolution, you see all sorts of artifacts that are new, mobile telephones, computers, and many, many other things. In the case of the intelligent systems revolution, what you notice is that systems are becoming smarter. They're becoming more intelligent. Unfortunately, the manuals also become thicker. And recently I got myself a new combination of copier, fax machine, and scanner, and I found that the manual was about 200 pages long. Well, anyway, so we are in the midst of actually two revolutions. And as I said a moment ago, we are moving in the direction of intelligent information systems. Now, let me give you a quick example of the difference between an information system and an intelligent information system. A few years ago, Siemens in Germany developed a system for the city of Munich. It was not implemented for various reasons, But what this system can do is the following. You are approaching Munich on a freeway, and you see a sign saying, parking garage Marienplatz, full. Parking garage Stachus, full, and so forth. You see signs of this kind. What do those signs mean? If they meant that at this moment, parking garage Marienplatz is full, it would be an information system. But in the case of intelligent information system, it means much more than that. What it means is by the time you get to that garage, it is likely to be full. That is what it means. That requires intelligence. And so I have seen some of the documentation relating to that system, and I was greatly impressed because they have a large collection of rules reflecting all kinds of information. And it is based on that information that they can predict with some degree of certainty that by the time you get to that garage, it will be full. So, to me, this is an example. And today, we have many examples, many examples. Just look at the mobile phone. The capabilities of mobile telephones are growing all the time. Now, why is it that we did not have mobile phones many years ago? Well, we did not have the necessary technology. The concept of a mobile phone originated at Bell Telephone Laboratories around 1950. Now, I read an article in which some engineers from National Semiconductor Corporation asked the following question. If a mobile phone were actually built at that time, what would be the size of the mobile phone? The answer that came up with was Washington Monument for the size of a mobile phone. So it tells you something about what has happened. Now, in my own case, I started my career at the time when the information revolution and intelligence revolutions had their beginnings. There were three events that played a major role. One was the invention of the transistor at Bell Telephone Laboratories. The other one was the debut of Wiener's cybernetics. And the third was the debut on information theory of Claude Shannon. I was a student at MIT when these things were happening, and later I was an instructor at Columbia University. And I remember an evening in 1946 when Claude Shannon, Bell Telephone Laboratories was located in New York at that time, he gave his first talk on information theory. To me, it was a fascinating experience. It was a different world. Prior to that, we were in the world of analog circuits, resistors, inductances, and so forth. But he opened another door to the other world, the digital world. That is when the digital world started. It started with Shannon's work on information theory. So many people were excited. I was one of them. And I wrote an article. I wrote an article which was published in Columbia Journal. The title of the article was Thinking Machines, a New Field in Electrical Engineering. The article started with a list of headlines which appeared in newspapers and magazines at that time. Psychologists report memory is electrical. Electric brain able to translate foreign languages being built. Electronic brain does research. Scientists confirm electronic brain. So these were some of the headlines. Now, when was my article published? January 1950. Well, it tells you something about my vintage. But it also tells you something about the degree of optimism that existed at that time. People thought that all sorts of wonderful things are around the corner. Now, one of the headlines says, electric brain able to translate foreign languages is being built. Where is that brain? I wonder. Now, of course, we have translation programs of one kind or another that can do reasonably, perhaps, good job. But we have nothing like what was expected at that time. In 1952, Burroughs Corporation set up a project to develop a phonetic typewriter. 1952. We still don't have typewriters like that. We have some dictation programs of one kind or another. So this was an era of perhaps exaggerated enthusiasm. But we should not be too critical, because as Jules Verne, the French science writer, said at the turn of the century, but not the century, the previous century, scientific progress is driven by exaggerated expectations. So it took a few years to realize that many of these expectations were premature. Let me give you one example. 1948, inauguration of Mark I relay computer at Harvard University Computation Laboratory. That computer had a memory of 1,000 words. The director of the computation laboratory, Professor Howard Aiken, who was a leading computer scientist at the time, said the following, and this is a quote from his obituary in the New York Times. He said, "There is no problem in applied mathematics that this computer cannot solve." Now, this is truly an amazing statement. Today we have supercomputers, and we know that there are all kinds of problems that those supercomputers cannot solve. So, a leading computer scientist in 1948 thought that a relay computer could solve any problem in applied mathematics. That tells you something. So 1956, that's the birthday of AI. And again, the same thing has happened. For a long time, within AI, there was this pervasive feeling of enthusiasm, and I could say, perhaps with slight note of criticism, arrogance. They believe that, yes, we can do anything, it's only a matter of time before we can build machines that could do better than humans at any task. Well, that turned out to be, of course, incorrect. Now, the question is this. Humans can do all kinds of wonderful things without any measurements and any computations. And a good example is driving a car. Why is it that humans can do this sort of a thing, and at this point, machines cannot? Now, there is one qualification that I should like to make. Any problem is associated with what I call complexity scale. So if you look at lower points on that scale, then machine can do it. If it's a matter of automation of driving on the freeway with no traffic, no problem. Automation of driving on the freeway with light traffic, well, perhaps, and so forth. But as you move up the complexity scale, pretty soon you find that we can do it today and will not be able to do it in the foreseeable future if you stay on the same course. Now, that complexity scale, at one time, the top city was Istanbul. Now, those of you who have been in Istanbul will understand what I'm talking about. I hope I'm not offending my Turkish friends, but some of such concepts as red light, green light, blue light, whatever, rule, regulation are non-existent concepts. Well, anyway, but recently I was in Calcutta, and I found that Calcutta is much more of a challenge than Istanbul. Much more of a challenge. So now I have to put Calcutta on top of the list. I'm looking at my good friend, Madame Gupta. I hope that he doesn't feel offended. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is this, and I have been saying it for a long time, but perhaps with more insistence in recent years, that the main difference between machines and humans is that humans can operate on perceptions. Machines need measurements. Humans can operate on perceptions. And to deal with perceptions, you need fuzzy logic. Now, you know, fuzzy logic has been controversial to a significant degree. It's still controversial. There's still many people who say that it's a bunch of nonsense. Now, I've never run into a person who has all sorts of horrible things to say about fuzzy logic and knows something about it. The two don't go together. Now, so why do we need fuzzy logic? Now, fuzzy logic actually is not fuzzy logic. But to understand why it doesn't, why it makes sense, you have put fuzzy logic in quotation marks. The fuzzy logic quotation marks is not fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is a precise logic of imprecision. That's really what it is. But let me suggest an analogy. If you use classical logic, bivalent logic, you are writing with a ballpoint pen. If you're using fuzzy logic, you're writing with a miniature spray can. That's really what you're writing with. But the spray pattern is precisely defined. So, what happens then is this. Human brain has a limited resolving power. When I look at somebody, and the question is, how old is this person? I cannot come up with a certain answer. So I would say, well, about 20, 25, middle age, and so forth. That's the way human brain operates. And that is, this is how we deal with perception. We describe them in a natural language. So basically, a natural language is a system for describing perceptions. Perceptions are imprecise, and that imprecision is inherited by natural languages. And if we try to mimic what humans can do using standard techniques which are based on bivalent logic, we will never get there. You're following the wrong path. I wrote a paper which appeared in the AI magazine, which is the principal publication of the American Association for Artificial Intelligence, with the somewhat provocative title of A New Direction in AI Toward a Computational Theory of Perceptions. I had lots of arguments with reviewers, but eventually they published with that provocative title. And so what I said in that article is this, that there are many, many things that humans can do Automation of driving a car in heavy city traffic is one of them. Machine translation of a non-trivial kind, summarization, playing tennis, basketball, whatever, that humans can do using only perceptions. And to be able to mimic that sort of a thing, you have to design or have to learn how to design machines that can operate on perceptions. So I believe that this is the direction that we have to pursue in order to be able to solve the problems that have evaded solution up to this point. Now, I was supposed to talk for 15 minutes. I see that I've been talking for 17 or 18 minutes. So I'll take the liberty of changing gears and to say something that I feel rather strongly about. Now, technological progress almost always has positive sides and good sides. Information revolution, information technology has brought with it some wonderful things, but unfortunately, there are some negative sides. One is the big brother, the capability of information systems to keep track of what we do, whom we call, and any other aspects of our private lives. But there is something that is actually perhaps more serious, and that is inversion of values that I see in the United States. That when I was growing up, when I was in the initial stages of my career, research was on top, and money was what was needed to conduct research. Today, an inversion took place. Money is the objective, and research is what is needed to get money. Of course, I'm exaggerating to some degree, but you see it all over the place. So money is in the driving seat. And so long as money is in the driving seat, unfortunately, principles, honesty, and morality take a back seat. Now, and one manifestation of that is the advertising culture that exists in the United States and unfortunately infects most other countries. When I look at the TV programs here in Canada, there isn't that much difference between what I see here and what I see back home. Television is controlled by advertisers. The criterion is ratings. How much advertising income does a particular program bring? And so we are in, I'm exaggerating, please accept my apology for that, but we are in intellectual desert. 500 channels with nothing to look at. There are some programs, of course. But in the large, what I say is unfortunately correct. We are prisoners. Now, we were not prisoners when we were dealing with print medium, because you could skip advertising. But we are prisoners when we look at a TV set. And that I think, is having a very profound effect on the young people in particular, who are brought up in an environment in which you see this barrage of lies, deceit, half-truths all day long. People become cynical, young people become cynical. This is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. So, I wanted to say, looking at the young people here, that they should do whatever is in their power to try to do something that would change this climate. And so that when I say we are living in a climate of lies and deceit, this is what a full-page article in San Francisco Chronicle said. Whole page. We are living in a culture of lies and deceit. Try to do something about it, to the extent that you can. Thank you very much.
Eminent Chancellor, Elder Linklater, Minister Atkinson, platform guests, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Spring Convocation 2006. This is the University of Saskatchewan's most important celebration, for it is here that we come together and recognize in a very public way the achievements of our graduates and the contributions to their success of their families and friends. This day also marks the admission of our students to the University of Saskatchewan family of graduates worldwide. I can say to you that their record of achievement is a magnificent one, and I am confident that you will uphold and enhance that record in the years to come. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the families of the graduates that are assembled here today. We're delighted to have you with us. You have shared the joys and the hardships of your graduate in his or her journey leading to the success that we mark at this time. We share your pride, and we thank you very much for being here. This afternoon, we celebrate the success of our graduates in the Colleges of Agriculture, Commerce, and Engineering. We are very proud of the graduates of these programs and their professors, and I welcome the opportunity to comment on some of the highlights of this year. The College of Agriculture is one of the two original colleges of the University of Saskatchewan. Our founders had the vision to recognize that we had a core mission to provide an excellent liberal education and that the University of Saskatchewan had a vital role in building the province. The positive impact of the college in the development of the province's agricultural industry has been demonstrated in ways too numerous to mention. This impact continued this year in both the teaching and the research programs of the college. Several world firsts in plant science crop production, global research collaboration including the joint release of a barley variety with Japan, the addition of a forage crop breeding program, and the pulse breeding program that witnessed the release of the world's first herbicide-resistant lentil varieties. One of the most important developments in the college this year was the proposal to change the name of the college to the College of Agriculture and Bioresources. This name change would recognize activities associated with the production of food exist in a broader context of life sciences that are essential to a healthy planet. The proposed name symbolizes the continuing vitality of the College of Agriculture and the rich promise for the future of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Our College of Commerce students experienced many successes in 05-06. Their achievements are best represented by the fact that we have 317 fine graduates of the college assembled here this afternoon. In addition, the college won first place at the 42nd Annual International Collegiate Business Strategy Competition, the second time in 3 years that our students have won this competition. They won gold and bronze medals, our students did, in a competition in Vancouver that featured 400 business students from across Western Canada, a bronze medal in an international marketing competition featuring business schools from around the world. And just a few days ago, the University of Saskatchewan added to this total when 2006 graduate Michael Sistons was named CIBC Entrepreneur of the Year. Third-year student Dean Kennedy was awarded a Gwyn Morgan Award for Principled Leadership, and College of Commerce Professor Eitan Archer was selected from 52 Canadian nominees to receive a John Dobson Fellowship for Advanced Canadian Entrepreneurship. Later on in this convocation, our Chancellor will present College of Commerce Professor Fred Phillips with the Master Teacher Award for 2006. Excellent teaching is celebrated at the University of Saskatchewan, and Professor Phillips demonstrates that the best of teaching in the university has its origins in the rich tradition of teaching and scholarship that combines the art of communication with the discipline and excitement of discovery through research. You do not travel in Saskatchewan and throughout Western Canada as often as I do without hearing often about the fine graduates of our College of Engineering. The quality of our students and faculty was demonstrated again this year in so many ways, but to mention just a few: in the innovative engineering design and student paper presentation competitions, in the annual Gas Processors Association convention, and in many research council, industry, and student union research and teaching competitions. As well, we were pleased that University Council approved a new undergraduate program in computer engineering that will accept its first students in the fall of 2006. This will see a change of name of the Department of Electrical Engineering to the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. We are aware, too, of the importance of work placement and internship programs for our students, and we were pleased that the engineering entrepreneurship option began its pilot-scale implementation in the fall of 2005. It's quite a record, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see why we are so proud of the faculty, staff, and students in agriculture, commerce, and engineering. Leadership is a key to success, and it is with a combination of gratitude and regret that I note that two of the leaders of these colleges will be retiring from their positions this year. Dean Lynn Pearson of the College of Commerce and Dean Claude Legue of the College of Engineering have made fine contributions to their colleges and to the University of Saskatchewan. On your behalf and my own, I congratulate and thank them most warmly. But to return to you now, graduates in agriculture, commerce, and engineering, I want to extend my warmest congratulations and very best wishes to you. Whatever path you will follow, I want you to know that you carry with you the confidence, respect, and affection of everyone at the University of Saskatchewan. We will follow your future activities with pride and with interest. Thank you very much.